Hey, are you thinking about starting your website using Squarespace? Well, I got some great best practices that are going to help you out making the best of your journey. I'm a web designer who's been using Squarespace for myself, my businesses, and clients for about 10 years. So I've collected some best practices here that are really going to help you out. Grab a pen and pad and let's get into it. My name is Gary Atkinson. I'm a web designer based in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I do graphic design as well. And my company is techsplorer.media. So if you're looking for a web designer, you can check out my website, techsplorer.media, via the link below. But let's get into it. My first point for best practices using Squarespace is to save your work. So make sure you're saving your work in the web platform. That may be a no-brainer for some people, but I had a client that they weren't familiar at first with how Squarespace saves content. So they're used to using Google Docs and Google Drive services. Those cloud services actually save iteratively for you throughout the process. But that's not how it works with Squarespace. So even though it may work one way with one cloud software, it works differently with another. And that's the case with Squarespace. There are 4 different buttons that are going to help you to save your work. And those are edit. Whenever you're on a page, you click the edit button if you want to make a change. Then there's also the done button. So if you've made changes or if you've made no changes, you want to hit the done button when you're leaving to look at the page or go to the next page. And then there's also save changes, which of course is to save your changes, and discard changes. So if you don't want to make any of the changes that you just made, you don't want those to be permanent, then you can easily just hit discard changes. And a best practice also is to make sure that you have a copy of the text that you're going to have on your website in a separate document. That just helps you out whenever you are maybe you have to transfer your website to a different platform. Maybe you have to make some type of change where you just need to have your data easily copy and paste it. And it just helps in your process whenever you're working on your website to have your file somewhere where you can easily copy and paste that content. So that's a best practice, using Google Docs, using Google Drive to store your images and things like that. That's a great way for you to have that backup. Okay, point number 2 is you want to make sure that you are setting a deadline for the end of your project and get it done. So what I mean by that is a lot of times you may have a project, maybe you have a business idea, or maybe you have an idea for updating your current business's website. And you really want to go ahead and put a solid date on the calendar and get this project done. You have a product or services that's going to really help your customer. So you got to think about your customer. They want to know all these different things about your business that are going to help them find your product or service. And just having a project or a website that's not completely to your perfect standards, that's still okay. You want to have the core parts of your business available for your customer. You want to have your hours of operation, your menu or your product list, and a way for your customers to contact you. So just go ahead and get this thing done. And if you're looking for a designer that's going to stick to a timeline, I have different packages available to you. So we can work together for 2 weeks, for a week, even a day to complete your website project. Okay, so let's get back to it. Best practice number 3 is implement SEO, search engine optimization. So this is how easy it is for your customers to find you online. You want to make your website stick out to your specific target customer. So let's imagine that you have a salon that's based in Raleigh and you specialize in curly hair, and your customer is looking for you. So you want to make it easy for them to find you when they're searching for you on Google, when they're searching for you on social media, on another search engine like Bing. And you can do that because you're in the driver's seat of that. The great thing about Squarespace is there are tools that you can use to edit your page description, and you can see exactly how you're going to show up on those search engines. So you really have an enormous amount of control for increasing or improving your visibility online for your business. If you're looking for an SEO strategy to help with your business, reach out to me today via the link below. Okay, for tip number 4 for best practices for your website, what you want to do is make your website mobile friendly. So there's a study that Oberlo.com has about the amount of traffic that you're getting from your website versus desktop versus mobile. And you'll see there's a 50-50, about a 50-50 chance that someone's going to visit on one of those devices. So you want to make sure your website is not only looking great on PC, but also looking great on the phone as well, or for Mac users as well. So what you want to do is use the tools that Squarespace has for you to do that. And there really is a cheat sheet on Squarespace that you can use to do that. There's a device view where you can see desktop view as well as mobile view. And think about the services that you're using on a daily basis. You probably see a lot of room for improvement on the websites you're using to bank, to pay your insurance bill, to look at your other bills that you may have, or pay your daycare, whatever it is. You are actually in the driver's seat of controlling how your website looks as a business owner or as someone who's designing your website using Squarespace. So do optimize the opportunity that you have to have a great presence online. With some of the newer tools on Squarespace, like Fluid Engine, you actually have a lot of drag and drop tools that you can design your website around. But the thing about that is you actually have you're kind of really responsible for making sure that your website not only looks good on one device, but on other devices as well. So make sure that you are using those tools to the best of your ability, so that no matter who is looking on your website and where they're looking on your website, it's easy for them to navigate, and it still has the great visual appeal. Okay, so that sums up my best practices for using Squarespace for your website design. And if you're looking for someone to help you out with your website, feel free to schedule a call with me using the link below. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.